I've lived in Gilbert for approximately 35 years. My wife and I met at college, pretty typical of a lot of marriages where you meet at school. I first came to Gilbert in 1988, hired on as the planning director, and that was most of my career during the early days. It's a field that I found was really useful for helping people, serving people. Local government is the direct connection to the people, and I've always felt that way. As you go up the ladder in forms of government, there's less hands-on experience by the people, and that's what got me most interested in local government, is I could affect people's lives in a positive way, and you could do it without frustration of not being able to make contact with them. During the time that I was the planning director from 1988 until the year 2000, Gilbert experienced a tremendous growth. We went from about 20,000 people to well over 100,000 people. As more and more people live here, can we maintain that quality of life? And that's why we've put so many things in place and are looking to do more. The most common theme you hear as you talk to anybody in town is that they love the small town feel. Can you imagine that? A small town feel with a community that's almost 300,000 people. But it's because of the actions that we've taken in the past, which has protected that small town feel, and we want to maintain that. A community doesn't feel like a community unless they can feel safe. Our people, our residents here in Gilbert need to feel safe, and we need to stay on the leading edge of technology that will keep them safe.
I've always been excited about technology and where does it fit in. We've seen a big change in technology in the fire service, and what's been incredible is the town of Gilbert has embraced that and allow me and my division to kind of run with that. My name is Mike Connor. I am a Deputy Chief of Special Operations with the Gilbert Fire and Rescue Department, and I've been here for 23 years. When you talk about technology, it's cool, but it's incredible, and it's having a massive impact on what we do. The benefits of these technologies directly impact our safety. Safety for first responders and safety for the citizens. So citizens will ask, how are you using the drones in the fire service? The word we use is drones are a force multiplier in public safety. What we can do for a fraction of what a helicopter program would cost, we are able to do with the drones. The drones have these incredible cameras and a thermal camera. We're basically putting an aircraft in the air, being able to show the incident commander what they can't see. We can send that live feed into the incident command office. We can send it over to the emergency operations center. We can send it to anybody with a phone or with a tablet on scene. We can send them this footage. We are also one of the only fire departments in the state of Arizona to have a ground robot. We recently had a fire over at a lithium battery storage. We needed to open up that door. Let's put the ground robot forward and let it do the work instead of putting a person in that dangerous area.
One of the most important things that we consider is best practice. And best practice means that we use the best technology that's possible. We don't let it just happen, but we seek it out in ways that can help us to better serve the public. As everybody knows, we went through a serious period of time where we were challenged with trying to address teen issues in Gilbert. And during that time, there were many recommendations that were given to us by the community, either through a special committee that we formed.
Hi, I'm Patrick Banger. I'm town manager for Gilbert, Arizona. One of the highest priorities for us is around our youth and their safety and tackling the issues around youth violence. We have done everything we can to work with our community, and we will continue to find ways to partner with our schools, neighborhood associations, and organizations that help serve our youth and keep our youth safe. We've taken some immediate steps of engaging our community engagement task force, and they came up with a series of recommendations that we'll look forward to beginning the implementation process over the next year.
One of those specific recommendations is an actual police officer dedicated to youth and teen work. And we have that now in place.
I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fashion designer. Something just didn't feel right. I thought long and hard about a new career, and law enforcement popped up. I started working out. I started researching on ways to be successful in the police academy, and I was hired with Gilbert. It was the best decision that I've ever made. My name is Emily King. I'm the Youth Community Engagement Officer for the Gilbert Police Department. Right now we are in the research phase of creating this new position. I am researching best practices to engage our youth. So in the future we're able to create programs to help get them on the right path. Our youth are facing a lot of struggles right now. We have social media, we have bullying going on in the schools. I think our youth need support more than ever. I think we also need to consider helping our parents. If we can be a support system for struggling families in our community, that's something that I'm interested in, hopefully that we can help with. It's a brand new position. Right now it's just asking a lot of questions and listening to our community and what their needs are. Going to meetings, meeting with parents, meeting with the town council on how can PD best support our town.
And it's leading to a much safer environment for our teens. And it's also been satisfying for our police, especially to be able to be more involved in helping address a situation that the community feels is so important.
And we look forward to continuing to do so over the next 12 months, and it'll be something that remains high on our priority list.
We exist to take care of the citizens. How do we make that better?
I grew up here. I have family that lives here. I went to school in Gilbert, and it just felt like home. It was safe for me to grow up here, so I want it to be safe for our families in this community.
Infrastructure is how we create wealth in the community. We want to make sure that we're developing our infrastructure to meet the final needs of build out, as well as going back and making sure that we're maintaining our existing infrastructure so that our community can continue to thrive.
I think really understanding what goes into providing the services every day just makes me appreciate the hard work and the people that are a part of that. Our teams are definitely the behind the scenes people. You know, if you don't hear from us, it's a good thing because it means everything's working the way it should. Hi, I'm Jessica Marlowe. I'm the Public Works Director for Gilbert, and I've been with the town for 11 years. A lot of the projects in Public Works are an ongoing process. I feel like we never really finish anything because we're always working to improve and do better. We've completed hundreds of streetlight replacements, dozens and dozens of manhole rehabilitations, cleaned hundreds of miles of sewer, crack sealed hundreds of miles of roadway. Just a lot of the things we do every day, the preventative maintenance in order to keep our infrastructure in good shape. Our primary goal in the water system is to make sure that we always have water supply available to serve our residents and our businesses.
Over the next couple of years, we'll be looking at water being an issue that will have to be addressed by the town and other communities across the valley because the drought continues to create a shortage on the Colorado River, so we have to be innovative.
One of the things that we're doing in order to insulate ourselves from future Colorado River shortages is reconstructing our North Water Treatment Plant. It's a major capital project, but it will allow us to fully utilize our surface water supplies that we do have available to us, so that when the Colorado River shortages occur, we can still support the demands across the system. We are also in the process of drilling several new groundwater wells in order to access stored water that we've been storing underground for decades.
And all of this goes to help our water portfolio, which will be a critical issue in the future. Water security leads to economic development, and that's what we're looking for. In the year 2000, we built this facility, which is the Gilbert Riparian Preserve, whose purpose is to recharge groundwater. It has been such a success. Gilbert does have some of the best parks and some of the best facilities, some of the best programs for residents in the entire state. We have to be able to offer those kinds of facilities, those kinds of services, so that people feel the connection with one another.
In Gilbert, we've really set a national trend on the community spaces we've built. I think the reason is we've really used creative ways in developing these spaces like you've never seen before. My name is Robert Carmona, Parks and Recreation Director for the town of Gilbert, and been here for about 6 years. To me, there's not a greater purpose than providing these spaces for the community. When you really look at the physical health, mental health, and social health of communities, it's really centered around where Parks and Recreation services are located. One of the ones that was recently completed the department's really proud of is the Water Tower Plaza renovation project. It is the hub of Gilbert. It's that heart of the community. We had to replace the infrastructure underneath the ground, and it gave an opportunity to create a different space up above that infrastructure, like the shaded splash pad, the turf areas, the water walls. It provides such an opening space for people to come recreate. Gilbert has a lot of exciting projects coming up. Gilbert Regional Park, we have about 185 acres remaining of potential development at that park. It's a combination of sports fields, multi-use fields, but also skate parks, bike parks that we really don't have in the community today. Just a mile down the road from that, Desert Sky Park, about 80 acres remaining at that site. That would be bringing online about 14 additional multi-use fields, along with some additional playgrounds, accessible playgrounds. And then the third one that's still under development right now, we're doing design, is the Riparian Education Center. Taking one of the top attractions in Gilbert and designing an education center around it where people from the public, residents, travelers, people from out of state can come and learn that valuable resource that water plays in the desert, along with being one of the top birding locations in the world with over 300 species for people to learn about.
The small town feel has always been important, and what we do with our green spaces fosters that kind of feeling. We certainly, with our programs, try to meet the needs of the community, especially the children with our recreation programs.
The teams we have, you won't meet more dedicated, passionate people that are proud to work for Gilbert and really just put 100% into what they do every day.
I think we have the most dedicated, the most professional team members that take pride in wanting to put on all of these programs, all of these special events.
They know that they're providing a critical service to the community, regardless of what they're doing. But I think it's really important for the community to understand exactly what goes into that.
Gilbert is very close to build out in the next 5 or 10 years. And unfortunately, when most communities reach that point of build out, they begin to decline. They don't pay as much attention to infrastructure, their facilities, parks, other services they provide begin to actually deteriorate. And the City of the Future is an initiative that we have chosen to use to address that so that we can keep Gilbert's quality of life maintained today and tomorrow so that future generations can enjoy the same quality of life that we have right now.
We're well aware of how blessed we are in Gilbert, Arizona, and our focus is not only maintaining that, but where we can, to enhance that quality of life, not just for today, but the next generation of Gilbert residents, so they have the same opportunity to enjoy the Gilbert that we enjoy today. The City of the Future initiative is probably the biggest overarching vision we have for our community.
It has three main pillars. You can think of the three main focus areas.
A strong economy. We want to have a business community. We want to have access to jobs.
Attracting strong businesses, small businesses that are the backbone of our economy. Second is the prosperity of the community.
And these are elements such as public safety, police and fire services. One project of particular note is our Family Advocacy Center, which is underway as we speak. Its purpose is to support the victims as the individuals moving through the criminal justice system.
Oftentimes they're left without any means to bring closure to what happened to them in their life, and much of it is very tragic. And in that center we have counselors and others who can actually work with these victims and help soothe their process in healing.
So that they can get through this period of their life and get back to prosperity and experience joy like the community on the whole. It's also our parks and recreational system, making sure we have strong K-12 schools, access to higher education, our neighborhoods, our hospitals. Our job is to be the best partner we can to those different organizations and agencies to support them in their success and the vital role they play in our community. And then the last one's our infrastructure, the built environment, and having an exceptional built environment, which means our infrastructure is safe and reliable and does the job it needs to do.
So that our community can continue to thrive.
We have seen astronomical construction cost escalation over the last few years that's really impacted our ability to deliver these projects. And as a result of that, we have had to make some really difficult decisions. We have to recognize that if we want to make sure that we're insulated and resilient, we have to have that infrastructure in place, and it is just going to cost us more going forward.
So again, it's about preserving and enhancing the quality of life we enjoy today and setting this community up to enjoy that same quality of life into the future.
The success of the City of the Future initiative rests on people being involved, whether it's being our eyes and ears to see what's needed out in the community or taking advantage of what we do offer in the community.
Well, hi there.
I've been living in Gilbert for
About 2.5 years now.
Like 8, 9 years now?
for 14 years. 32 years. Yeah, I grew up here. I actually live just 5 minutes down the street. The people, they have a sense about the community, like they're family oriented, they have ambitions. It's just a blend of like a nice melting pot of like Arizonians.
I mean, just look around. It's a beautiful evening. The sun's setting over here, and it's just a great place to be.
And I think Gilbert has been that way since I was little. I mean, we've grown up that way.
It has like big city vibes where it has like good restaurants, but like still feels like a small, traditional, homey community. Like, feels like you could run into your neighbor while you're here.
Yeah.
If you could describe Gilbert in one word, what would it be?
Comfortable. Oh, I love that one.
Amazing.
I say friendly.
Booming.
Booming.
Vibrant. I like those. I feel like it's grown a lot, so that's why I would use that word. It's become a lot more than it was when I moved here, when I started going to school out here.
We have a sense of community. We want to raise our kids here. Our kids want to raise their kids here.
I'm a giver. I like to serve, and I want to serve the town of Gilbert where I raised my children.
It's a very safe community, and it's thriving, a very young community and thriving for the future.
We're well prepared, and I'm excited to see what we can provide our residents and our businesses so that the community and our children and grandchildren can continue to have successful lives here.
We're working on engaging the community more, and it's not feeling like a big city. It still somehow feels like a town.
It's vibrant, it's safe, it's thriving, and it's just a destination place now. We gotta keep it that way.
We are reaching a mature state in our existence, and I thought it was critical that we had good leadership to move us into that phase so that when we decide to pass this on to the next generation, we're leaving it better than we found it.
It seems as though everybody's always taken some sort of pride. Even when we first moved here, we noticed there was a difference between The people that lived in Gilbert and lived in other parts of the valley, for some reason, they just had this pride that they still feel their neighbor, they can reach out to their neighbor and talk to their neighbor. And all of that fosters just being around one another. And that's what you find in a small town. Everybody knows that one another, everybody knows what's going on, and that just seems to be the same thing happening in Gilbert. We need to make that a priority over the next 4 years. To infinity and beyond.
We want to.
Let's redo that.
Okay, I'm gonna start over again.
Quality, start over.
Read me that question one more time, Oscar.
Hello, no.
For
I've got this creep behind me that's following me. This camera. Out into the world. Is that you, Claude? How are you?
Oh, hi, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Repairing a broken bench.
I see. You guys must be from Wisconsin. Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you from?
From here. I'm the mayor here in Gilbert.
Oh, well, hi.
How are you? Nice.
they could be sweeping sweets, sweeping streets, whatever.
You know, Oscar, if you met my wife, who gives me a list of ways in which I can improve on a daily basis.
Scott told me to do bloopers, so, you know.